It's fixed. Managed to find a solution to the sticking AIWO joystick problem. The old one, when you're playing, used to stay stuck in certain directions because you forgot to pull it back to the middle. It didn't have any spring to it. And I had a feeling this was because of maybe friction inside the ball housing. So I thought I'd open up the system and check it out and see if there's anything we can do about it. Just to open it, you need to take off these 6 stickers, and there's 6 screws, and you just undo those. If you want some more details, you can check out Johnny Lou's channel. He has a full breakdown on how to open this thing up, but there's nothing to it. Just disconnect the battery, and then you take off the 4 screws for the joystick board, and I put on these little white square spacers on the other side of the screws. I cut these out of ice cream container lid, and it's about a 1mm spacer, and the idea is that it just pushes the joystick a little bit further away from the housing so it's not rubbing on it. And as you can see, it's free. So the difference while you're playing is huge. It's really responsive now. It flicks back to the center every time. You don't have to hold the stick and sort of steer it back to the middle every time. You can use the side of your finger now to control it like you would normally with a joystick. Yeah, no, I would really highly recommend this. So a couple of tips. The knob on the joystick's a little bit firm to get off. I wouldn't do it while the joystick's connected to the PCB. The PCB comes out the base of the joystick pretty easily. So just be careful when you're playing around with those bits. Make sure you don't damage the PCB, but it should be fine if you're careful. Also, I noticed that when I put the knob back on the stick, it was actually lower than where it used to be. I think there was a cavity or some space inside the knob that wasn't being used, so it's actually down further on the stick, if that makes sense, and I like it. I think it's got a little bit more response because I guess the throw of the stick is a lot shorter. So I don't know if that's an added bonus or not, but you could definitely space it out if you wanted to keep it up higher, or glue it even, but I'd say keep it down as low as it goes because it just makes it quicker and more responsive again. So hopefully that helps anyone else out who had the same problem with the joystick sticking. It really does take this machine to a new level, I guess, because the joystick was one of the killers, and in my opinion this fixes it. So there really isn't much left to say. I'm really looking forward to the firmware update that Johnny Lou has been previewing on his channel. If you haven't checked that out, check out the link in the description. It's looking great. The guys working on it are doing a great job, and they're apparently going to have something similar to a Raspberry Pi front end for it as well, so stay tuned to that. And I guess I'm just going to see what I can do about this screen. Maybe there's a way to upgrade this screen to make this the perfect system. Stay tuned.